Kawhi is really good. It's just a lot of people don't know how to use him or build him. I personally have him as a defensive build, which is still solid on offense. Because look right here, 153 steal, really high. Contest, 142, really high. But his mid-range and his three-pointer solid. 137 mid-range, he'll make him consistent. 135 three-pointer, not the best, but he'll still make at least one or two a game. And that's what you really need from Kawhi. From a defensive stopper, you still want him to be viable on offense, which I personally think he is. Now right here, I'm going to show you the potentials that I have him built as. Focused on steals and three-pointer. Steals is his main niche, so you want to really use him for steals. And three-pointer, you want to build that as high as possible because you still, like I said, you want him to be able to make at least one or two a game. And as we're going to see later on, some of his abilities increase his shooting accuracy. So just all of this together helps make a better Kawhi. A lot of times people forget about partners. So the partners that I use for him is the mid-range. Steal is a good option, but I think mid-range is more important for him right now because he needs to make sure he can hit more consistently the mid-range. So I go with +5 from mid-range. Now his enhancements, they're really good. They also add +5 to 3 and +5 to mid-range, which makes him a better shooter. And I think his best enhancement is level 6, where when he attempts a steal, he can also cause a dead ball, meaning stop the player in their tracks. And every time he does that, or he steals it, or causes that dead ball, it increases the contest attribute. And I'm going to show you this in gameplay to show you how it works. Right here, he goes for a steal, causes a dead ball, then he can steal it again. Really good ability. I'm going to show it again right here. He goes for a steal. He doesn't steal it, but he causes a dead ball, and he can force it again. In my opinion, his best ability is the flaw detected. Because when he's within 4 meters of the ball handler, he begins to observe them. And when he reaches that threshold, which is that yellow bar underneath him, and he begins to have that flaw exposed, his steal rate is really high. And he can use rush hour and the claw to dash steal at the opponent with a higher likelihood of stealing the ball. And after he steals the ball, his shot accuracy is really high and his contest angle is reduced. So that's a perfect opportunity to take a 3. And the reason why I think this is really good is because 4 meters is a big area, meaning you don't have to be in the opponent's contest zone to get the flaw exposed. For example, people like James Harden, who are very shifty, who can drop you really quickly, this ability is good. So you don't have to be in their contest zone and not get dropped, but you can still fill that yellow bar to be able to steal the ball. And I'm going to show you a little bit how you can do this. So right here, I'm guarding James Harden, and I'm outside of his contest zone right here, you see? But the yellow bar is still filling up. Being outside of it doesn't let him drop me because he drops people easy. So I stay out of it. And once the flaw detected is on right here, I go back into his contesting range and use rush hour to dash and steal. That's the proper way to do it, especially guarding somebody shifty like him. Kawhi's special, the claw, is a dashing contest that covers a lot of ground and is really good against a player like James Harden, whose special creates a lot of space. Most players can't contest that special. And here, I know he's going to end up using it because looking at the score and the time, he has to. So I try to stay close, but even then, he creates a lot of space. So I use the claw to make up that space and contest it. You don't even got to go for the block. Here, I went for the block, but you don't have to because the main part of defense is contesting the shot. That's why for his build, they have a high contest attribute because the higher it is, the less likely it is for them to make a shot when you contest it. In defense, I don't go for blocks because if you miss the block or they pump fake you and you leave them open, it's a waste of defense. So I just try to stay as close as possible to them and contest their shots. That's the main part of defense, especially since Kawhi usually guards the best player. So you want to know how to play defense. The cool thing about Kawhi's ability to claw is that it specifically is designed to use it against shot-type ultimates. It's good against regular shots, but when you use it against somebody whose ultimate is a shot, like we previously talked about and we showed with James Harden, their contest attribute is increased a lot and their accuracy is reduced a lot. So you really want to use it against somebody who has a shot-type ultimate. And the good thing is most players in the game have a shot-type ultimate. So this ability is really powerful because they're not going to make that shot when you use it. And, this ability can be used for many different things. Like we just talked about contesting a shot. When you have flaw detected, you can steal the ball. And it's even a 3-point. So you got to know when to use it. Here's another example of when to use the claw to contest an ultimate that's a shot. LeBron James has an ultimate that's also a shot. So as you can see right here, Rodman's about to pass him the shot. And he's going to use his ultimate. So I used the claw to contest it. And usually LeBron's shot is one of the ones that really goes in, even when it's heavily contested. But as you can see, Kawhi's ultimate being made for those type of shots makes him miss that shot. So it doesn't even matter. Now going back to Kawhi's flaw detected, when you go to his talents, you can unlock another talent, which is called forced turnover, which I think is really good too. Because forced turnover is when the person or the opponent receives a long distance pass, flaw is automatically exposed when it's either long distance pass or they stop the dribble within 5 meters of Leonard. So right here, you can see in the little video, he gives him a really long pass and it automatically exposes the flaw, which means Kawhi can automatically go for a steal, making it more likely for him to steal the ball, which I think is really good. And I'm going to show you some gameplay of how that works. Kawhi is also a very, very good help defender because he doesn't have to be guarding the person with the ball to be able to steal it and get the flaw detected. Because if you read it again, flaw detected says when he's within 4 meters of the ball handler, not the person he's guarding, the ball handler, it still goes to his bar and he can steal the ball, as we saw against Rodman. And as well as we see, his 3-point shot goes in because after stealing the ball, his shot accuracy is increased a lot. So I think he's a very, very good help defender as well. All right, once again, a really good help defender right here. Look, I'm guarding LaMelo, but I can still be close enough to Giannis to fill up the flaw detected, and I steal that. Because again, flaw detected applies to the ball handler, not your defensive assignment. Once again, right here, I'm guarding LaMelo, but I'm close enough to Giannis to fill the yellow bar. And once flaw detected is activated, all I got to do is go with my rush hour and dash to steal that ball. And as we know, when Kawhi steals the ball, his shot accuracy increases a lot. So right here, I'm going to be wide open for a 3, and that's automatic. That's going in because I stole the ball. So Kawhi is a really good help defender. You got to use him to help your teammates who are struggling to guard somebody. It makes life easier. So there you go. A little in-depth idea of how to use Kawhi, the build I recommend, how I use him, the little tricks and tips, and how his kit works. I didn't talk about everything in his kit. If you would like me to talk more about Kawhi or maybe talk about his offensive kit and how to use him, let me know in the comments. But I hope you enjoyed the video.